Good afternoon. I am just thrilled that all the people are here to watch this historic event for Sylvan Lake and for Whitfield School. Today we're going to close up this Whitfield School Cornerstone. It was originally installed in the third Whitfield School on October the 16th, 1929, right about the time of the crash, 93 years ago. Why are there two dates on the Cornerstone? The building was completed in 1927 with seven classrooms, an office, and two restrooms, and then they decided that they needed more room. They needed to add more classrooms. They added two more classrooms in 1929, the gym and the cafeteria, which was underneath the gym. It was a beautiful gym. We have some pictures of it when it's almost demolished, but it was beautiful. It was very well done. So that's why there are two dates. The first date, 1927, is when the first school, the biggest part of the school, was completed. And then they added the gym and the cafeteria and two classrooms in 1929. So in 1991, the school was closed for many reasons. One of them was economic, but there were other reasons, which I have talked about previously. So the school sat vacant for 22 years, actually, before they raised it. And so they had a contractor come and they raised the school. First of all, they had to take the asbestos out, and then they started demolishing the building, which was such a sad day for anybody that attended Whitfield. It was a beautiful building, a beautiful structure. It was designed by the same architect as City Hall, Charles Fisher, and it was our community center, everything for Sylvan Lake, because we didn't have a community center at that time. So we would go up there for Halloween parties and hot dog roast. Edison would come over and bring big poles, and they would light fires. And that's when we'd have hot dog roasts out in the back field, because there were 9 acres in that whole complex. So we just did everything. We would take our sleds to school and during recess slide down the back hill and have a good time. We must have had more time than the kids have now anyway. But they tore down the building in 2003. And later that summer, Anna Lee Kennedy arranged to have Mr. Chuck Johnson, who was the contractor that had the business to tear down the school. She invited him to come and bring the Cornerstone with him. So he put it on the back of his truck and he brought it to the school. And a lot of people were there, parents, teachers, principals. Anybody could come and see this. So he showed us the things in the Cornerstone. And in fact, one of them was a lady who found her own name from kindergarten in the Cornerstone. Was really amazing. So, and then he covered it back up and he took it away. And I said, Mr. Johnson, that belongs in Sylvan Lake. And he took it away. So Anna Lee Kennedy contacted me. She had already contacted Doris Smith. Doris Smith knew Mr. Johnson. So the three of us got together. We went over to see Mr. Johnson, and he gave us the Cornerstone and the whole contents. Oh my goodness, what a dream. Because the things in this Cornerstone, the papers and the history went back to 1851, a very, very long time ago. Sylvan Lake wasn't even an entity. And the school was a fractional school at that time, because kids came from 4 townships, from Waterford, Pontiac, West Bloomfield, and Bloomfield, to attend this school. This was the only school in the area. So some of them probably came on horseback, carriage with horses or walked, but there weren't, I don't know of any houses in Sylvan Lake at that time. So anyway, the school continued to be a fractional school until 1947 when we joined Pontiac Schools. And from then on, we have been part of Pontiac Schools. And part of the reason for that is because there were only 2 schools in West Bloomfield. And Pontiac was a bustling city at that time. So, and we are still in Pontiac Schools. So the items that we are putting in the Cornerstone are actually copies of those original documents. They've all been scanned. This book, right here, is going to be at City Hall, so you can look through it and read what was in there. I will have more than one book up there, so you can go and look in City Hall and see what was actually in the Cornerstone. But I couldn't have done this project without my neighbor and friend, Mike Grasser. Mike is the one that put that thought of the idea of having the Whitfield bricks on the bottom and then making it into a bench here. But Mike can tell us how he did that.
Well, there isn't a whole lot to it, but thanks to Helen and Jane, we have what we have here. And for years, the Cornerstone sat down by the bocce courts in Sylvan Lake. Nobody knew what to do with it. So we got the idea we would bring it up here and get everything, and then Helen and Jane got everything back together with all the new information we're going to put in with the old information. So it's a wonderful day.
But Mike is going to have to, he's going to do several things to get it back together.
Okay, so today we'll put the contents in there, we'll put the top back on, and then this afternoon we'll come back and we'll put mortar underneath, and we have to shim it up, of course, otherwise all the mortar we'll lose all the mortar because of the weight. And tomorrow we'll pull the shims out, put more mortar in, and it'll be sealed up for the next millennia. Who knows?
So this is a copper box that was originally in the Cornerstone. It's going to go back inside, and we are just thrilled that we have this right here for everyone to, and I hope that people will remember what the 2 dates are all about. We will make a little sign to put next to it so people know what it's all about. So thank you so much for coming. If anybody else wants to write something to put in the Cornerstone, they can do that now. Thank you. Yes.